Today's topic is, should schools ban ChatGPT and other auto writing technologies? And how can they do it?
I bet they already do. I'm pretty sure I've read that they already do. They have all those website blockers and stuff, but you can download a VPN.
It's a VPN, exactly, yeah.
Well, how do you work with this trend's only going to move forward? It's not going to stop.
Yeah.
I read some article recently online, like some schools are trying to figure out how they can roll with this, knowing this is a reality, probably forever. And some are like, oh my God, let's ban it as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Like people, when they're making them, like college students handwrite essays in class and stuff, instead of uploading stuff so they can actually see it.
Does anyone not know what it is? Or for people watching, it's an auto writing technology that people can use the software. You just type in a subject and it just automatically types the paper for you.
Yeah, like I just did a thing like write 500 words comparing President Trump to Biden's policies, and just pops it out
Just like that.
It's pretty wild when you do it.
And then what I'm thinking, just as like a person that does podcasting or whatever, a lot of podcasting requires research or talking points, something to use to talk about, to go over or whatever. I can definitely see it being used for that too.
Mm-hmm.
It won't just not just school, like.
Well, and I kind of view it as a tool you could use to kind of get to third base. Like it's not everything can do everything for you, but it could do almost everything for you, and then put the final human polishing touch on the end.
Yeah,
maybe. Would you have used it back in school?
Oh yeah, yes, without a doubt. And like I said earlier, what I probably would have done, how I would have did it, I probably would have used it, and I probably would have just went in after the fact, make a few errors, misspell a couple words, dumb it down, not too much, but just a little bit to make it look like I actually did it, and then turn it in.
I think what I would have done is I would have hoped I was on the front edge of knowing about it, and then I would have sold papers for a while. That's what I would have done.
Sold paper, yeah.
Those exist too.
Make a business out of it, yeah. That's already something that's been happening. A lot of people get hired to write papers. I've known some. Yeah, I've had friends that have offered like, I'll write your paper for you, but I didn't have any money, so it was never an option. So. And also I was like, as a student too, I was always worried about getting caught too. So I didn't want to get in trouble. So there is also that. There are going to be students that are afraid of getting in trouble, don't want to get kicked out of the university that they were paying a lot of money to get into, or they worked really hard to get into. Like I can see that, like that's a lot to. If they're saying, we're banning it, so therefore you get caught doing it, you're kicked out.
We're going to treat it like plagiarism.
Yeah, I can see where it could be a serious threat. Like, would you want to chance it? Like, because some of these universities are not. None of them are cheap.
How could they prove it? It seems like you'd have to have something pretty provable
Yeah.
for like a serious accusation, which might get you kicked out or like really, really damage some college career you have.
There's some
You can't
things.
just accuse it and that's enough.
There's some things I'm afraid to do in my own home, and I know I have 100% privacy. But like, if somebody saw me, if someone saw me dancing, that would ruin me.
Not.
Same.
Oh, not you.
If somebody,
Not what I thought you were going to say.
if somebody heard me singing in the shower, like
You're
that
not
would
gonna get
probably
kicked out
they
of
would end my
college.
career.
No. Your singing career.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to be able to.
Yeah.
I mean,
How do you police it?
Yeah, I'm not saying they can. It's just my I'm saying like maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know.
I've seen it like you can have it. I saw people do it like videos back to back. They asked it the same exact question, worded exactly the same, and it never gives the same answer. It never does it. It doesn't do it the same every
I was
time.
going to say, so schools can't just type in.
That's why it's like plagiarism proof.
Yeah.
So if you were in charge of some school, what would you do?
I don't know. I'm not smart enough for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how that stuff works.
And then how do you even accuse somebody of it? Because that's a lot. Because what if there are people that do it legitimately and like you just come out and you flat out accusing them? That's like accusing someone of shoplifting even though they didn't steal anything. Like
I was going to say, the only way they do it is like keeping everything in school. Like, like you can only work out for these hours. It sounds like.
I think about a lot of stuff as like each generation comes and goes. Like what skills are applicable anymore? Like each generation is like, you don't learn that anymore. You learn this now. You don't learn how to hunt your own food. You don't learn how to shoot a gun. You don't learn how to do this. I'm like, and there's all these things, and we don't do that anymore. And I wonder if maybe like paper writing in its form, because most people, I think in everyday life, never really do anything like that. Like Emma's doing long division right now. I've done it since like 5th grade, and you're gonna learn this and you're never use it again.
Yeah.
Like, is it worth learning in the first place? Maybe it's
Right.
a skill that some people still have, but it's fewer and farther between.
Yeah.
It phased out of relevance.
That's probably what's going to happen. I think professors are just going to stop assigning papers. I think it's kind of an outdated thing anyways. Like, you're not really proving that you learned anything for real, or that you're going to remember it after you wrote it. You know, like, I can see that maybe not get rid of papers, but maybe do less of them, or maybe just assign one huge paper that's due at the end of the year, but you can only work on it in class. Like, maybe that, but other than that, I don't know what they would
There's
do.
always ways to get around it, though. There's you could.
Yeah.
It's not even really about just about papers and stuff too. I watched a guy do it for I don't know the correct wording or terminology. I'm not a programmer. I don't code or anything. But he said he was running into an issue. Code wasn't running properly.
I heard about that.
So he put it in the ChatGPT and he told him to spit it out, and it did, and no bugs, nothing wrong with it. It worked.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of mind blown by it.
But
so.
that sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the concept of cheating, technically, I guess you can call this cheating, or
You're not cheating. You're not
well, if it is banned by the school, it is cheating. Yes.
I wouldn't call it cheating. I call it just against the rules.
Yeah.
Tomato,
call
tomato.
To me, no.
Terminology.
I've always
you
looked for the
break the
shortest
rules.
path, every possible loophole.
Sure.
How far can I bend without
Right.
me actually, or break without getting in trouble?
Mm-hmm.
And how bad is the consequence if I get in trouble?
And this isn't. These aren't new. Like I understand. Like, this concept is kind of new, but the act of this has been there. Like, there's been math websites for years that you can type in math equations and it'll spit you out the answer.
Yeah.
Now, different concept, because this is actually like a paper that's supposed to be your own words. Math is ABC,
Mm-hmm.
but kids are always going to, like you said, bend as far as they can go. And you're saying, like, just do it in school hours. You can smuggle a flash drive in,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can.
or you can even just
Email
do it
it
at
or-
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it at home. Email it to yourself.
Your Google
copy and paste
Drive,
it. There you go.
Well, yeah, but what
Yeah.
if they said handwritten only?
Oh,
Like, that's
wanna
what I
go
mean,
old
like-
school
Yeah,
with
see,
it,
but then if
maybe?
it can only
Some teachers have said that, like,
I was
we're
gonna
just going to
say,
go
that's
backwards
what
in
they have
technology
to
in that
do.
area. You're going to handwrite it in front of us.
You ever wrote a paper handwrite a paper?
That was in second grade.
Yeah. When
And
they
then
make
that
you do
wasn't
the-
even a paper,
the
it's probably like a
5
story.
It
paragraphs.
was 5
I'm
paragraphs.
just curious.
When a paragraph was 4 sentences.
Like, how long does it have to
With
be?
there was like
sentence
a-
per paragraph.
Yeah. There was like an introduction, a conclusion at the end, so you really only had to write 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
considers a paragraph.
I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm just
maybe it'll
curious.
change education. How it works.
And I do,
I think that's a big part of it, yeah.
and I kind of slightly disagree with papers are outdated, because I think there's a lot more to writing a paper than just the information in it. It's the whole
You
process
learn stuff
thing.
along the way.
Yeah, there's grammar, there's spelling, there's a whole lot of other
Yeah,
things. that
but do you think there could be another method that could be found that could maybe
not sure.
achieve the same result?
I'm not sure, because why do we write essays? Why do we write papers?
I think it's just because it's just what we've always done, and we've never really had a reason to try anything else. Maybe this pushes pushes learning into a whole nother, or teaching into a whole nother thing, where they actually need to come up with an original method of teaching. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not for me to figure out or decide. I am not a teacher. I don't.
Yeah.
And this does not affect me. I've already been through school and everything. I don't plan on going back to school, so it does not affect me.
Yeah, me
It'll
neither.
impact your kids, though.
Yeah.
I don't have that either. Like,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for some of y'all that have to navigate the technology and how you deal with all of this and how you teach your kids
Yeah.
which way to take and
Well,
which path to
Can you
take.
imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine? Like,
No.
We were in school during like that COVID stuff. Doing the
No.
lockdown.
See, I
everything
didn't have to deal with that.
What if they were
was
just
not
like,
done anything.
It
Yeah,
was,
you wouldn't
it was
know
very
your
strange.
what if they just like made you give a freestyle speech on the topic at hand? It'd be like, okay, you're not writing anything. You're going to stand up in front of class
Have you ever had to
and
do
you're
that?
just going to tell us everything you know about the subject.
You ever had to do that?
I've done speech,
Like
yeah.
an impromptu speech like that?
Oh yeah, I took speech class. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually did pretty well in it, actually. But
you had to read something, then kind of get up and do like a 2-minute speech on something you read.
yeah,
It doesn't always work out.
I was actually better at that than I thought I would be. But I don't know, talking is not really.
well, it's not
something
always
I'll
just,
end.
I'm not.
it's not
best
necessarily
at it.
talking. It's the
Yeah.
the
But
making
I
right
would
out of what
probably
you read.
struggle though if they're like, Ben, get up and talk about so and so book. Like say they said read a book. Now get up and talk, give your review on it or give the thesis or something. Yeah, I would probably struggle at that for sure.
Yeah, I see both sides of it because I'm not like pro education and everything. Even with the kids, I'd be like, because Emma has to work hard at math and Carter never wants to do any work on anything. Like, you just have to do enough to keep your teachers happy, and then they'll just move it along. Like, because he doesn't want to do any work, like, just do enough to keep your teachers happy. If they do it, just get it done. So it's over with. And then I'm like, it's not going to go away. Like, you're not going to use it when you're an adult, probably, but it's going to be here while you're still at school.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be easier next year than this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a depreciated skill set.
Yeah. I agree. I just don't know where they go from here. I mean,
like everybody that was like F level can now be like B or C level.
mm-hmm.
So you'll still have, it's not going to be good enough for like a doctoral dissertation. It's probably not going to be what you'd want to like stake your whole reputation on. But can it get you to like a passable grade? Absolutely.
C's get degrees, right?
Right.
Yeah, C's get degrees. Yeah.
Especially when you're like, say you're just starting out and you're trying to get your generals knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really necessarily something to your degree, but you just got to do it so you can qualify for a class that it does go towards your degree. Like, yeah, like I don't want to waste time writing papers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Do I think it might be a problem? Sure, but that's for them. I don't know. That's for them to worry about.
I took a class that was dual credit and purposely didn't sign up for the dual credit portion so I didn't have to write the 10-page paper.
Yeah.
Seriously?
A lot of people did that.
I was not writing a 10-page paper that they
Do
gave
you know how
you.
long that would really take you? You're,
Do you
okay.
know? You know.
Yes,
me.
I do know.
It's not that bad, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
10
but for
pages.
me, I never wrote anything more than a page or two.
Yeah.
And it gets about something that I didn't want to be doing. Yeah, good luck. That was not going to go well.
I just say whoever is going to try to stop this, good luck. That's all I got to say.
What was your original question? Should it be banned in
Should
schools?
it be
Probably,
banned, and
but-
how can they do it? And like how is
I don't
that?
know. I don't have the answer to how, but probably should be banned.
Probably.
But
There's
if it's not,
gonna be some-
I'm not going to say anything.
I think they have to.
Yeah.
I think they have to try to like
Mhm.
ban it in some form so they can check their box, and taxpayers and unions are all happy that you're making our people do something. Kids
Yeah.
are learning, even though everyone's like, it's not gonna do any good.
Yeah, and I do think like fraud, because I feel like there will be a lot of fraud later on, like people that actually get into their professions and they got to actually do the task, like say a surgeon or something like that. Like I feel like that will come out later on if they're not really well educated in something. Like it will come out eventually that
I
they're
would
a
agree.
fraud. So that is another thing to think about. Like like there's literally a whole show called Dr. Death. That's literally what they're talking about. How like he basically just got by medical school and then he was basically faking it until he made it, and then it cost lives.
You caught up with him.
Yeah.
I don't.
So you do run that risk, but I don't know. I
So
don't
I guess ban it.
Yeah.
Well,
Try to again.
try to. Are we all in agreement here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, there we have it.
it's like one of those actions where